Hey boys, Coach Boot here. I'm making a video for you guys today because we missed an important practice because of the endless rain. So I want to go over the formations that white team is going to use on Saturday and probably Sunday. And I think Coach John is also going to run the same formation as well. So I want to encourage both teams to go ahead and watch this. The formation that we're using, we talked about a little bit, and I think we tried it out, didn't we, the other day, and we scrimmaged. It's a 3-4-1. So let's talk a little bit right now. There we go. Hope you guys can see this okay. Now, the formation itself is pretty basic, guys, but there's a few things I want you guys to really pay attention to as it relates to defense and the offense as well. So that right there is pretty basic, isn't it, guys? 3-4-1. Get your keeper back here. On the 3-4-1, let's start in the back. Now, the 3-4-1, this is your center back. This person plays a lot of cleanup, as these two guys will be coming up a lot. Traditionally, that position has been called or referred to as a sweeper, and they clean everything just like Ashton or Keegan or Ben or Tom does naturally. When we run the 3-4-1, should anything kind of get past those four in the middle, it becomes very important that center back immediately play the ball wide and up and away from net. So I think that's very self-explanatory. And then we've got our left back and our right back. But let's move up to the mid and up. This is where kind of the nuances of this formation come into play. But first, let's answer the question, why run a 3-4-1? Why not run a 3-3-2 coach or a 3-2-3? Those two being very popular in soccer. When we're facing a very attack-oriented, very skilled team like, both blue and white are facing, what we're trying to do is to lock down up in here, the midfield, before they can cause any damage down here. So it's really our job is to really make it difficult for the through balls to come through and for the midfield crosses to come through. So on this line, let's say we're in that perfect formation, it doesn't necessarily, guys, look like a line, okay? These two guys, when I call our left mid and our right mid, they tend to play a little bit higher. Okay, so when you guys are on the field, you'll be looking over and you two guys will be looking at each other typically, okay? And these two guys are kind of set back like that. The job for these two guys really involves playing up here and here. You are sliding the whole field. And if you're playing the job right, within 5, 6, 7 minutes, you should be needing a sub because you're leaving nothing out there. Okay? So let's talk about all of a sudden, here comes the ball. Okay, here comes the team coming at us. If you guys were just on offense, now we're doing what, guys? We're collapsing into the middle, right? Everything's collapsed. And if that ball tries to get through here, we're going to pinch, okay? Now these two guys right here, let's say now the ball is moved up here. But again, they're on the attack. This guy up here is running around like crazy, trying to just cause an error, okay? Try to make a bad pass, try to intercept a pass, and that player is going to need to get subbed or rotated quite often just to have fresh legs. But let's say that ball comes through here. These two players right here are really important in terms of they have to communicate to each other all the time, okay? If a ball comes through, okay, this player comes through, oops, we have to have one person that says, I got, and that person's going to commit immediately, right? And cause a little bit of problems. One or two things can happen. This player can play wide, okay, in which case now we have these guys stepping up and try and commit. Or if the ball comes through, this one's sort of playing in the back, okay? That would be what's called defensive mid. And this would be sort of your attacking mid. But in the 3-4-1, they're really in this, on the transition on defense, You're both very much defensive oriented, but one should come up and attack. If both come up, what happens here, guys? It's completely open, right? So if you guys do that, if you two guys notice that your two middies have come up and they're trying to pinch on the ball, you want to step in, don't you? And try and crack that down. As soon as that ball goes somewhere, then you spread back out like that. Makes sense so far? I hope so. All right, so let's just switch to the offense real quick. Okay, so again, just to recap on the defense, if anything comes, let's say this way, you're immediately met, okay, with this guy here. Okay, now ideally, again, this guy with endless wheels, if he sees the ball over here, he's on it. So this person's always going to try and create that pinch scenario, whether it be here or whether it be over here. We're always trying to stop them, not let them through here, okay? And just to stay with defense for a second, let's say we did a great job, but all of a sudden, ball broke through, okay? So immediately what would happen is drop, okay? Drop and cover. Okay, that person in the middle needs to get over there really quick. And what does that person do that was wide? They switch off, right? Okay, so when this person, again, this person was mid, he's going to yell, switch off, okay? And this person's going to come back and cover, okay? What else happens? Then your defensive person kind of steps up here, right? Forcing that ball out, and everything sort of switches over like this. On the back line, gotta make sure when you're back here and the ball's in this direction that you're always looking over your shoulder. Okay, that number 17 player that you guys remember, Richard, he's really, really sneaky, and he likes to come in wide. He's either setting up the cross or he's waiting for it. Okay, so this team is very talented. They know how to play wide, and they know how to come in right here, okay, for that setup from the wide, and they know how to cross in, okay? So again, as soon as that ball, let's say the ball went, sorry guys, ball went over here, immediately drop, okay? And this guy's just waiting, okay? So as we pinch that player right there, okay, and let's say we get lucky, and all of a sudden now we have the ball. Now we're looking to send, okay? We want to try and get that ball, if we possibly can, to this player. Now what does that look like? All right, let's set this back up. If the ball is here, and I could use all kinds of defenders if it help you guys out visually. Let's say they run a 3-3-2, which is common. So in the 3-3-2 here, we got a guy roaming around here. All of a sudden now we have the ball. I'd recommend hitting the line, okay? Ball goes here. Okay, you obviously want to take a few steps, like I told you guys. Now we have a step. Okay, now we have a step. And we're stepping over here as well. And where's our next triangle? Okay, as soon as you pass here, pass middle. What's this person do? As everyone drops. Now there's pressure here. Why can't you play here? Play it back. And what's that going to do? It's going to bring up the defense, isn't it? He pinches over. This person will come over here. So remember, every time there's a pass made to a player, we're always moving to an open spot, not behind somebody. Okay, always to an open spot. Ball comes here, what should happen? Down the line. Now you're at an angle. Now you're at an angle. Ball comes here. What's that look like? Now the defense is dropping, Okay, let's see. Sorello takes the ball a little bit. Okay, this person's doing what? Looking for that ball. Where's the triangle? Where should it be? Ball's here. Let's make it realistic for you guys. Let's say they really, really stack it, guys. Which is going to be common because they don't have many goals against them. They're going to flood that box. Really, really going to flood it. These two guys need to step up. And when these two guys step up, again, one needs to really talk to the other, saying, basically, I got the attack and I got your back. If one steps, the other one slides back a little bit. So that's important. If you guys are in the middle, you've got to talk. You guys both can't get caught up and have an open middle. So keep it here and a little bit spread out. Again, we're on the attack. So we have ball on player here. They're committing. Exactly. Go support, right? So the best offense sometimes is playing backwards. Okay? What's going to happen again? Now we have that ball up. Let's say Cirillo made a nice run. All of a sudden he's pinched. You see how that defense is starting to gravitate towards Cirillo? Okay, let's say we have a Neary or a Tom or a Colin or whomever. He's at strike looking for that ball. It's going to be hard getting him that ball if that whole thing is flooded. So what if we pass that ball back? What's they going to do? They're going to come on the attack, aren't they? All right, as they come on the attack, just try and make sure you're setting up triangles. They're coming. He slides out. Boom, he gets the ball. Now it's here. So every time you guys move the ball, you're moving a player. Every time you're moving yourself, you're moving a player. They're going to follow you, right? So one thing that we've been noticing as coaches with you guys is that as you guys get the ball off a transition, right? You just fought really hard for the ball. And sometimes there's three people on one ball. As soon as that person gets that ball in his foot, you need to back off. Okay, you need to find space. And as soon as you back off, boom, now that coverage is going to follow you. This guy steps in, boom. This guy goes wide, he's taking a player out. Maybe taking another player out. So the purpose, well, what you guys want to focus on, I guess, is staying wide. On what? The attack. And on defense, I need you guys to collapse. So setting it back up for a second. I'm sorry guys, I'm not a professional YouTuber or anything. I think you hear my wife laughing at me. These guys stay a little bit higher than line. Always want to stay wide on that offense, right? The wider you are, what happens? It spreads these guys out. Okay, creates opportunity. Now this is more defensive oriented than it is offense. Straight up. If it was a 3-2-3, that's a whole different thing, isn't it, guys? Now we're very attack oriented. You see how everything's up, all right? And these two guys would be looking to constantly serve in the middle. But since we're facing a team that hasn't been beat, we want to lock the field down with that four back. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on this one striker. But having said that, these two people, again, who are working way back here on defense, they're going to be working way high on offense too. They'll be sliding up, and these guys become really important right here. As soon as that transition happens, got to lock down while these guys slide up. Now I do want the center back to hang a little bit back behind the wides, just in case that ball comes through. Okay, if that ball comes here, yes, then step. These guys will cover. But blue and black got your back. We always make sure we got each other's back, okay? If he steps, lock that down, okay? But ideally, I want to see him a little bit back and let these guys do their job in the middle. So on the attack, what does that look like? Get a seer right here. We'll just get them out of the way for a second. Okay, we're wide, we have the ball, ball's in our foot. I don't want to see these two guys getting way high, okay? During the game, you're going to hear us say, stay. Probably right here as much as we want to go. You get too caught off, they're gonna kill us because they're fast and they've got a lot of good through balls, which means that whoever's in net, you need to play high, you need to play smart. And like I tell my keepers, you can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either in it or you're not. You're either going for the ball or you're not. You need to make that decision. You can't go a little bit and stop. So our keeper, just like we faced London the other day, he stopped everything we had because he came out as high as here, didn't he? As soon as that through ball, that you guys had some great through balls on white, he would step up and kick it immediately. So keeper, you got to be on your toes. But now we have the ball here. Okay, our right mid has the ball. What are the options? Okay, again, they're running a 3-2-3. And look at the sea of red. I mean, how do we find those options here? Okay, with basically one striker up top, we have to be very, very creative. Okay, and here's what I recommend. First thing is, can we serve him directly in, let him go, and have a shot? Okay, a guy like Neary, for example, or a guy like Tom, they're quick, and they can find that lane and have a shot. If the shot's on, I would like to see these guys come crashing in for the rebound. Okay, these two, again, they're the gatekeepers. Nothing is coming down our middle. It can't. If it does, we're done. So these guys are gatekeepers. You can step a little bit, yes, but you want to lock down that middle. Absolutely crucial. With this guy ready to step, and these guys always pushing things out wide. So like I just said, the first option is passing to that striker. And as soon as that ball is shot, crash. Okay, as soon as the keeper has that ball, and I don't have to tell you guys this a million times, get back, turn, and mark. And mark means make a new friend, grab some jersey, and get inside their shoes. Richard, number 17 on white. Guys, if you give him 1 foot, he's going to shoot. Give him 1 foot, he's going to cross. Give him a foot, he's going to cause troubles. So anytime Richard comes in, we got a pitch, okay? But again, back on our offense, yes, we can serve up the striker, hopefully, and he can go in for a shot. I think where our goals are going to come from this weekend, in both games, is they're going to come from the rebound. Okay, so striker, if you see net, if you see white, have a go, okay? And these guys are going to come in hard and rebound. I mean, when I say come in, I mean bounce through those backliners and get some. Okay, and guys, if you do that, the more often you rebound, the more often we score. The more times you're in the box with the ball on your foot, the greater chance you're going to go down with a penalty. Okay, so try and crash that box. So getting back to option 2, how do we get that ball in the net? Let's say again, ball is here. Okay, there's 2 options I can see right now outside of him. One option I already covered loosely is playing it back and having a move somewhere. Why? Well, we want to bring these guys up, right? That's exactly what it would do. You play it back, they're going to come charging hard. No, look what just happened. Look at that space. So striker and my ups, always be looking for that space. When the ball is moved, a void is created, right? That person just came up. What a great spot to be. Boom. There's a long pass right here, and he's gone. Okay? Let's say, getting back to 3-2-3. Sorry, guys. Again, get these out of the way. A moment ago, I said, well, what are the options? That was the first one. Playing it back was the second one, in which case he would have dropped, wait for the triangle and go. The second option is have a go over here. I covered this when I first started talking, but now the ball's over here. And I just told you they're going to come hard, aren't they? Again, they're up here. What's option? All of a sudden, he's pinched. He's going to go down and support, right? So hopefully we can get a ball to him in the corner. Is he going to stay? He's going to come on the inside, right? Facing ball, showing. He could get hit immediately, okay? Or he could take a back door and, and all of a sudden you hit him here. So this really in itself is not rocket science, guys. It is these 2 guys, you have to run like you've never run before, and we're going to get you subs. On the attack, you've got to always be looking for finding your spaces, getting up high, okay, making a good pass. And when that shot is fired, you've got to rebound. Okay, we can't let them get their own rebounds. We have to have someone in there, meaning 2 or 3 players, to knock that thing in the back of the net. And I think we know how to do that very well. And again, I know I touched on it already, but these 2 guys, you really got to stay home. And your job is when you have that ball, is you're looking for what ways can I be creative. Okay, everyone's marked up. They got a 3 back. Where can I be creative? I mean, to me, that looks intimidating. I don't know about you guys, but when you see a sea of red like that and you've got 1 striker rather than a 3 up top, It looks very limiting, doesn't it? And it's not going to be too hard for them to lock down one player. So this is probably not what Coach Jim wants to hear, but on a really effective 3-4-1 on the attack is you've got to create space. And one of the greatest ways to create space, and I just mentioned it twice, is to pass that ball back. Okay, there's no one up here right now. He could actually arguably do what I was doing the other day in scrimmage, but not effectively because I'm old and fat. But I would actually hang back a bit. And what would eventually happen? It would all come up, wouldn't it? Okay, these guys would maybe just edge up a little bit, but as soon as I was back there with the ball in my foot, with an open touch and a head up, okay, playing that ball back, they're coming in hard. Look at this, guys. Imagine if you somehow got that ball through, we've got one line of defense gone. Okay, now we have the advantage, don't we? And then you move. And do the soccer, you guys know. But the whole point of this part of my talk is I think sometimes, as you guys know, if you want to go forward and you got to see a red in front of you, go back. Okay, you got a good keeper in net. Every keeper we have is fantastic. Don't be afraid. Okay, and by the way, backline, if you heard me playing and Coach Jim playing the other day, I don't think I stopped talking for, 4 seconds. Okay, I was always communicating with Ashton, always. I was either telling him to have the attack, and I got your back, or and he'd have my back. That's it, guys. You gotta talk. When you guys talk like that, you guys are taking your game to the completely next level. All right, you're giving you guys eyes and ears and an extra brain that we don't have. Okay, so again with that ball over here, and I'm going to wait on it. Okay, these guys come rushing in. Everybody on that field right now is thinking one thing, and it's the term empathy, right? From Soccer IQ. And what is empathy? It's giving this player 3 different passing options. If these guys are crashing in really, really hard, for 2 reasons this guy moves. For 1, for defense, to make sure it doesn't go in the goal, but for 2, to support. Okay, he might drop here. Okay, as soon as he drops here, what happens? This guy comes into play. They're gonna come over here, right? Now we have a major switch. Now they're really running, aren't they? These guys that were here, now they're starting to shift over. If you do that switch fast enough, and now it's over here, you guys are going to have a lot of players stuck, okay? Because what's the holy grail? The speed of play. And what's faster, dribbling or passing? Playing it back, creating that space, having a quick switch, using a very good center back on both teams, and a good keeper. Use your keeper too, guys. Use your keeper. Have that switch. I think the way we'll attack effectively is by calmly playing it back, trying them up, okay? Because again, we have 1 striker. We've got 2 goal scorers over here too, but we got to get them free, which means that we got to bring these guys up, which also means that invites what, guys? When we got a bunch of guys coming into our third, if we lose the ball, our keeper's going to be busy, right? Make your passes count. You guys are doing a good job of making triangles, 1, 2, 3, then that 4th player just kicks it to nowhere. I don't know what that is. You guys are way better than that, okay? Make that 4th pass count. Pass to a foot. If you don't have someone to pass to, shield the defender on you, turn your back and shield, play it back. But again, playing it back is going to bring them up. And then all these guys come into play, all right? Hope this wasn't more confusing than it was help. But again, let's go through it. Just the basic of it is when we start, okay, we have the ball. It's a pass back to one of the mids. That's the safest thing. You pass wide, they're going to get there too quick. Okay, so pass back to one of the mids. And as soon as that happens, we start moving into what those spaces are and giving him a nice triangle. Okay, if they're coming really, really quickly, want to get wide, quick pass, try and move. Now this is one of the scenarios where I don't mind if Cirillo has a super awesome long run to get that ball up. That's what the 3-4-1. You really need to get that ball up right quickly. Again, if that red is stuck here, we need to get past that first line. It could be a great through ball. Okay, if they're up like here, all of a sudden we played it back, right? Game just started. Boom, ball's back. They're going to start going on the run, right? Boom, he goes. The whole trick of this is to get one line out, okay? Then we're facing 5 players in the back, right? Keeper makes 6. So 5 is a lot better than what? Than 8. So it's getting these guys up. So just like we start, okay? How do we start a soccer game? Pass it back. Okay, and what immediately do you guys do is I always say first 2, right? Boom, first 2. Let's get those guys up. So this weekend on the offense, I think the best way to create a scoring opportunity, get that ball back, but it won't work. It won't work if the guys off the ball are not talking and you're not in space. But I know you guys will do a great job this weekend because you've been training hard all summer. So make sure you do that, okay? And one last time. So we're in offense. All of a sudden, we lose the ball. Okay, we're on the transition. We're transitioning to defense. What does that look like? This person's raising heck. Yeah, going out there and trying to cause all kinds of problems. Immediately, we're doing this. You guys know this, but bear with me. What does that do? Okay, you try and get a ball through here. It's going to step. Okay, you try and get a ball through here. It's going to step. Okay, try to get a ball through here. They're going to pinch. Everything needs to go wide. Okay, it needs to go wide on our offense, on the attack, but we need to send it wide when they attack us. Now, white team specifically, that guy Richard, and there's another kid too, they really know. I think they watch a lot of Barca or something, but they know how to take it here. And you'll see as soon as they hit the top of the 18, they start looking over their shoulder. What they're looking for is they've got 2 guys that are flooding in, okay? And they got 1 on back post. And all they're trying to do is get it in here. They're not looking for that perfect, bent, cross that lands right here in a 1 touch. Although they do that, what they're trying to do is just trying to break that line a little bit, get that 1 touch of the score. So what that means for you back line is make friends, get tight, get really tight. For some of you guys that don't know the vernacular of the words of goal side, I know some kids are still struggling with that. Even some of our experienced players are, when you're marking, all right, this guy has let's say this guy has the ball here, all right, you're a defender. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm seeing where this guy has the ball and we're marking here. If you do that, what's going to happen? He's gone, right? If we want to send it wide, we're talking about goal side. There's the goal. You want to get on the side of the goal and mark that player and do what Keegan and then a lot of our guys do so well and push that guy out. Okay, so make sure we're always goal side on that attack. I think that's it for now, guys. Again, if you're on the wide mid, you're doing a lot of running. So get a good night's sleep and have a good breakfast. On the attack, you're getting wide and you're always getting into space. Okay, the guys in the middle, you want to stay somewhere in here and you got to talk to each other. One has to go, one has to stay. You need to have each other's back. These guys in the wide, for a shot, you're crashing the net. Ideally, you're trying to either take a shot here to give our striker something to rebound and the other guy something to rebound, okay? Or you're setting up the striker for a shot, okay? That's our attack. And lastly, and I've said it enough, the best way to attack is to drop back. We need to thin that herd out, get that first line up here, make those nice balls, and then we go. When that ball gets in the middle, don't forget the Holy Grail. You don't have to be a star and try and dribble through 5 remaining players. The 2 other players up top for the attack are doing their best to get open. Okay, send in that through ball. As long as we collapse, okay, on the attack. What do we got here? 3, 2. There we go, coach. You guys are being so patient. Thank you. I'm not a board expert. Again, guys, wide. Wide means touch line, right, Coach Jim? Remember how Coach Jim told you receive that ball and you go open. As soon as I'm open, I can see things, right, guys? I'm open touch. You got to get wide. Okay, you're right on that line. And now we've got people providing you with options, moving everywhere. And on defense, we got to go tight. Okay, these guys are a little bit back. But I really can't imagine, if you guys play the game that you guys play, I can't imagine a whole lot coming in here. Remember, it's gonna come wide into the box behind you, or what's the second way they can score? They're gonna look for that through ball. Okay, these guys that are wide. Let's see, we got one cheeky feller up here. Okay, he's right here. He's probably not gonna shoot, right? But you know what he's looking for? He's waiting for Ashton just to step a little bit. He's waiting for you guys to get on it's called a flat back. And then he's gonna try and split you. Okay, and this guy's gonna step, one touch, goal. Okay, so the back line has to be very aware and always doing the messy, right guys? Left, right. You always gotta make sure there's no one sneaking up behind you. Keep an eye on him. Doesn't mean you have to go out and mark that guy. Okay, keep an eye on him. But you gotta make sure no through balls can come here. And once they're over here, again, we're filling. And that reminds me of one thing. It's not 1, 2, 3 playing defense, is it? You guys know that. These guys are dropping. These are my wild men. They're gonna need a lot of subs. Okay, if that ball's down here, I don't want you hunting that guy down. Okay? The 2-on-1. As soon as we get the transition, you peel off. Okay? Peel off and get away. Then you can get the ball. Then they come up. A lot of moving around and talking. Sorry, boys. Thanks for your patience. I hope I did this okay. If you have any questions between now and game day, just post them on the message board, or have your parents text me or whatever. This should be, communication, a conversation, rather than just me preaching at you horribly using a whiteboard. If you have a question, let me know. Okay, we'll just keep an open line of communication on our website. If there's a question, we'll answer it. If there's a thought, let us know. I know Caleb Ole has tons of thoughts, but that's it for now, boys. Until then, I will see you Saturday. Make sure you sleep well, eat right, and get on that field nice and early. Thank you for your attention, guys. And it was nice not hearing anyone talking. Thanks. Bye.